The Super Scooper right there. These are airplanes that are on loan. We actually leased them from Canada during fire season. Well, we understand that Super Scooper was hit by a drone while flying in the Palisades Fire this afternoon. We're told the plane is expected to be able to fly again tomorrow. That's very good news because typically we only have 2 of these. Crews out there have the drone that hit the plane. The FAA wants to remind people it's a federal crime to interfere with firefighters and their operations. And flying a drone near wildfires is not only dangerous, it's not recommended, it's illegal. This aircraft, as I said, once again expected to fly tomorrow. We can tell you David Biggar is with us right now. You not only are a pilot, but you know a lot about this. The whole drone situation being up over the area.
Well, yeah, so the thing is, as soon as fires start breaking out, one of the first things that they start coordinating at the FAA is putting up a flight restriction. There's a flight restriction over the entire Palisades Fire from the surface up to 7,000 feet. Now, most drones aren't allowed to be operating above 400 feet anyways, so anywhere within that area, not allowed. Part of the concern that always exists for firefighting aircraft is they're flying pretty low. They're doing a lot of water drops and retardant drops, and if a drone, let's just say, was sitting at 400 feet or something like that, some people do fly higher than that, which is not allowed, but if a drone is at 400 feet and they're going in to try to make some sort of precision water drop, they can end up striking that. That's always the concern. And in previous fires, we've had instances where a drone gets spotted and all the air attack aircraft get told, okay, everybody back off for a minute. We're going to see if that drone is still there because it is a threat to the aircraft. They got probably pretty lucky that it hit the nose of the aircraft and not any of the engines or anything like that.
Well, yeah, you look at these, you look at the fixed wing there, and then you think about the choppers. They're all rotors. If a drone was to get clipped with one of those rotors or go into the rotors, I mean, it could be catastrophic.
Yeah, so the thing is, I mean, you're thinking about most consumer drones. You're probably going, well, it's just a bunch of plastic and materials, but the batteries themselves are pretty dense, and not to mention lithium-ion batteries are a little explosive if you end up cutting one. You know, it doesn't take a lot to make small damage to things. And Colleen brings up the whole helicopter rotor thing. They are incredibly perfectly balanced, these rotors. You start chipping away at them and doing damage to them with a drone, that's significant. Obviously, not a helicopter in this case, but if you were to hit an engine or something, they have it. Obviously, they have a second engine on board. They could go make an emergency landing, but that then takes down a firefighting resource.
Right. Well, thankfully, hopefully, this will be able to fly tomorrow because we need it so desperately.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And the FAA will probably be investigating.
They'll be investigating, and if they were fortunate, this is going to sound weird, fortunate, unfortunate at the same time, if they're fortunate enough that any part of the drone got stuck in the nose, they've got now a part of the drone that they could go back and try to figure out.
Part of the story is they apparently have the drone. So my question to you is, can you trace an owner? Are these things licensed? I don't know that much about drones.
So the FAA wants everybody to register their drone, especially if they're going to be flying it. Whether or not everybody has done that is still a big question mark. But assuming that you're operating legally, you would have a registration likely printed on the battery or somewhere on the drone itself. There are rules from the FAA about where to display your registration, then it can be traced right back to the person who registered the drone.
But we could have a rogue drone here, right? Someone who really doesn't know what they're doing.
Right.
Because if you go through the program and get certified and do everything correctly, you know
not to do this.
Absolutely.
Yes, this is the rule: is you do not fly drones in fire areas, and even if it wasn't a fire area, you don't fly it in flight restrictions, temporary flight restrictions.
The last thing anybody wants to do is interfere with the job that these people are trying to do to help us.
Exactly. And, you know, the person operating the drone, I don't think they had a nefarious intent behind it, most likely. We don't know, obviously.
Well, video's the big thing these days.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things where it's just you don't think about it. But that is the danger with operating when drones are not allowed in fire areas.
Well, thank goodness it stayed at this point. They have the drone. They can investigate, and the Super Scooper will fly tomorrow.
That's good news.
It is great news. Thanks, David.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.